following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys!
This is Mick Shots.
Streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app.
Now, here are Bill Jones, Heckma Harrison, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
Good afternoon, Cowboy Nation, and welcome to the Taj Mahal of football. We are here in the SWBC Mortgage Studios here at the Star in Frisco, home of your Dallas Cowboys. You are now rocking with the best. I'm Heckma Harrison, alongside the neighborhood hero and Super Bowl champion Everson Walls, and across from me is Mr. Mickey Spagnola.
Neighborhood.
And then, yes, right.
Interesting.
Oh. What? What? Everson Walls out of Rich.
I like
what
the
are you?
simplicity of it.
Man, come on, man. You was one of the first. I'm talking about the local dude that did good from right around here.
I mean, right around the corner.
Yeah, come on. The neighborhood hero, Everson Walls, man. I had it right the first time, man, for sure. Hey, and guys, like I do every Thursday, anytime I get an opportunity to host a show, I'm checking in mentally on you guys. Mickey, I'll start with you this time. How are you?
I'm great.
Good.
I should use my microphone.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Much better.
All right.
You're great?
Mm-hmm. Still great.
All right. Everson, how about yourself, brother?
I am blessed.
Blessed and highly favored.
Highly favored.
I get it, man. That is awesome. So we will start with the book. Mickey is doodling over there and in his notebook. But tell me what's new around this defense. We were just listening to the defensive coordinator speak just a few seconds ago. I believe that was Eberflus.
It was Eberflus.
And so what's going on around the organization, the locker room, and with this defense?
Flus said they're all accepting the accountability for that. So there we go.
Okay.
I don't know that he had any meat and potatoes here for us. He talked about having Schottenheimer in the defensive meeting rooms.
Schotty knows defense?
You get a chance to hear what offensive people think about what you're doing defensively. He said he did that in Chicago. He would sit in the meetings. Yeah. He also pointed out that over his years, he would call in the quarterbacks and see what the quarterbacks were seeing on how to attack. They would attack what they were doing defensively. So he mentioned Romo. I think he mentioned Phillip Rivers and whoever was playing quarterback at Chicago that might have known what they were doing.
Yeah. I mean, really, it seems like every group should do that.
Right.
Have the wide receivers, just one receiver or coach, just say a position coach, and just talk about, okay, this is how I would attack you guys. So be prepared for this, and especially with these young guys now, it might click with some of them because, with young people, when you keep talking about inexperience, sometimes something has to click. Nothing's clicking yet. They haven't made a connection to what that defense's strengths and weaknesses are.
So did they tell Tony Hill, okay, now go up against Everson and tell him now if I was playing against you, this is what I would do.
No, Tony Hill just talked trash. He just talked trash. Hey,
I picked the wrong guy, right?
Yeah, back up. That's what he would tell me. Back up, man. Get off me. That's what he would tell me.
Do you think players do? I mean, in the offseason, obviously you get more time to be one-on-one in situations like that versus the season. That's the kind of talking that coaches do with other players, saying what you were just saying, Mickey. This is what I would do versus you. And I think in the back of my head when you just said that, I think the one thing I was thinking, I'd be a little ticked off if I was a defensive coordinator. And it's the head coach, it's his job, but you're coming in on my meeting and feel like you're spying on me in a sense. But it's his job to make this team better.
Yeah, I don't think he goes in there as the offensive coordinator. He goes in there as the head coach.
Consultant, I would think, just a consultant.
I mean, I always look back and I reference to when Jimmy Johnson got here. He was a defensive coach, right? He couldn't fix the offense. Right now, he can go in there and listen, but the offense was in somebody else's hands. And if you look back at those days, the Cowboys didn't fix their offense until Norv Turner got here. Yeah. Right. He couldn't correct Dave Shula.
Right.
And so
oh my God.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said it, right?
Sore spot.
But no, because that's your expertise,
Yeah.
and you're not going to go in there and start calling plays. I remember one night we were in the hospitality room on the road before a game, and Jimmy started drawing up offensive stuff on the cocktail napkins. I think he was just trying to impress us that he knew offense, not just defense, right? But you're at the mercy when you're not a total walk-around coach for your coordinators. And the defensive guy's not going to fix the offense.
I think the only time I can relate to something like that was when Michael Irvin first came to camp, and they were trying to throw that zone deep in cut to him from my side. And he was so worried about timing that he was telegraphing. He totally tipped his route. And I just told him, man, I would have picked that. And he was so meticulous about breaking down and trying to get that clock in his head that he was tipping himself as he was leaning inside, and I would have jumped that because it was a zone type of coverage, but it was a zone matchup because he had come into my area, and so I think that's the only time I told him that. He listened, and I don't know if anything changed necessarily, but he was welcome to.
Yeah, I was going to say thank you very much.
Yeah, he was welcome to that. So yeah, that's the only time I can think of that, and it should be more of that. I mean, especially when we're struggling right now, you need to have a coach that can reiterate what the defensive coordinator has been trying to tell you that you ain't listening to or don't quite get yet. So if you have another guy come in, he may explain it another way to where it can connect. With myself, there's always certain ways, words, or techniques when someone explains something. Like my father, he was extremely good. That's why he's one of my best coaches. He was extremely good at saying few words that got right to the point. And it always resonated with me, and I understood exactly what he was talking about, the way he delivered it. Sometimes a change in delivery can help a person's understanding.
McCarthy did that during the bye week. He called it cross the hall. So he'd have the offensive coordinators go to the defense or the defense going to the offense. And just listen for the coach's standpoint of, okay, this is what I see as your opponent.
Right.
And I think that should be helpful.
Help. It's got to help.
In corporate America, they call it cross-training.
Okay. What do you call it? Cross-hauling? Across the hall?
Across the hall.
Did you make that up, Spags?
Cross the hall.
Cross-train. Hey, you guys want to get into these Arizona Cardinals?
So, wait, you had said something about what was going on.
Yes.
So yesterday, and this struck me, they go at the beginning of practice to the individual drills. Cornerbacks, safeties, linebackers, whatever. They go to their group. And I looked at the safety group. There were 5 guys there. 3 of them were practice squad guys. I'm going, that's not a good sign, right? And the 2 guys that weren't were Marquise Bell, and then Wanye Thomas finally got back into some of the practice. Like he was
a good sign.
He was going to participate, right? But I'm sitting there going, well, that's a little thin, especially one guy goes down. I got to go to the practice squad. So they're probably going to have to elevate one of those practice squad
Who is
safeties.
that guy?
Well, last week they did Corey Ballentine, and who was the other guy? Because Clark was already on the 53, and now he's out.
We're talking linebackers now?
No, I'm talking the safeties.
Okay.
And so it was. Oh, I wrote it.
So you said Elijah Clark.
Oh, I know what it was. Okay. So it was Bell, Thomas, Ballentine, Wood, and Childress. Because Childress is back on the practice squad now. And Childress was playing corner nickel, but now they got him working with the safeties. So I was going, ooh, that's a little thin. So, yeah, that stuck out to me. And the fact that, the cornerback situation still is what it is, especially after putting Diggs on injured reserve.
Right.
What about Malik Hooker? Have we heard anything about it?
I'm trying to remember if they said they started his 21-day, but he's still a week or two away. Donovan Wilson, they said he was trending in the right direction, but he was doing rehab work, so he wasn't practicing. We'll see what happens today, because yesterday was the extra practice, right? That's Monday night. I noticed today, so they're really going Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and they were doing a walkthrough on the field, so that was kind of an extra thing before they start this afternoon's practice. Yeah, and it looks like Clark is out for a week or two, even though he started his first NFL game. Diggs, they don't have to give an injury report on him because he's on injured reserve. But as Jerry pointed out earlier in the week, he said something to the effect, or after the game, that he needs to get in better shape to play football. Well, what he meant was physically better, not like conditioning better. So what's going on there is he's having problems with his other knee.
Oh, man.
So the two surgeries he's had are on his left knee. Now his right knee is having a little bit of problems close to what the second surgery on his left knee was supposed to correct. So more of probably a hereditary degenerative deal.
Sometimes it's
in the right knee.
The fact that this knee has always been giving you problems, you overcompensate on the other knee.
Right, and that could. Yeah. And so, contrary what Dr. Micah Parsons pointed out, evidently, about the Cowboys who forced him back too soon.
Yeah.
No, they didn't force him back too soon. He delayed his progress, and you've heard me say that. I know you get tired of me pointing it out, but had he been here working out, he would have been better prepared to possibly start training camp on time. With what he was fixing. Now, the other thing is that it probably eventually needs to be operated on, what you thought was the good knee, but that he probably could get back through this season without the surgery.
It might be to the point where
he's got to manage it.
Scope or something.
Yeah, he's got to manage it, right? And so, the other thing about it is, when you're on injured reserve, he's got a roster bonus active if you're active per game,
which is how much?
$55,000. So 4 games on IR, that's $220,000 you're missing.
He gave up $500,000.
So now we're getting close to $750,000, right?
You're working on a meal ticket right now.
Right? And I'm just saying, if you get off IR and you don't immediately play, well, there's another game, and you're kind of losing money. So anyway, that's the situation he's in right now.
Everson, let me ask you this, and you, as you've been watching this defense and the way that they have struggled, for someone who's been a leader in the locker room, who are those guys that, obviously without watching practice or anything like that, a guy that you would say, look, he is the person that needs, even if he's not, quote unquote, the leader, but a guy that needs to step up and assume more of that role as a leader on this struggling defense?
Usually it's going to be someone who's making plays consistently. It has to be someone.
No, that's the crux of the situation.
You got someone that has to have an idea of what's going on, who can anticipate certain things. We always talk about Sean Lee, Dat Wynn, guys that know where they can tell you where it's happening. They recognize it right away, and they can put you in the right position to make plays. So, right now, we don't have that. Is it Jordan Lewis? We don't have the Jordan Lewises anymore. A guy that can just, man, I so miss that guy. I so miss how you could just tell that he played angry.
He's a dog.
But with poise.
That's right.
Because he knew where to be. He didn't just try to go blow things up. He was very calculating in what he did, which is what you want from a leader. I don't see, except for maybe James, I don't see anyone that can be out there and show by doing it, not by talking about it. See what I'm saying? He's got to be showing me that. Okay, this guy
can't be the leader and getting burned at the same time. Can't do that,
right?
You can't be a defensive lineman. But come on, guys, let's go. And you haven't made a tackle, nor pressure, nor hit. So
and you're right. That gives you the right to speak up.
Yeah.
Well, they've got too many kind of personalities on that defense that are just nice guys. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like Bland could be, but that's not his personality to get up in front of the room and do a lot of talking.
But see, Bland still influences and inspires by his play.
If they watch him.
He still does by his
play.
Yeah.
But as for a guy, Jordan Lewis,
they
don't have that personality on the I mean, Clowney maybe, but he just got here and he hasn't done that much.
What about Kenny? What about
I think
Clark?
Kenny Clark's the obvious one.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much he sounds off, right? He's at least got the personality and he's got the presence that if he's speaking, it's sort of like, oh, I'm going to listen to him.
Well, it'd be nice if they had that communication. You know, the communication between the middle linebacker and his defensive line.
Right.
It's got to be intimate.
It's got to be better.
Yeah. But it needs to be something to where you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say this, when I make this audible. It's like Randy and those guys. They used to move and shift with confidence, knowing exactly where to be. There was no checking with them and, hey, here, no, none of that. They all knew in unison where to go. That's the intimacy that you had with the Bob Brunick or Eugene Lockhart at that time.
See, and think about it. When we look at the snap sheet, right, there's hardly anybody there other than the DBs out of necessity that are playing 75% of the snaps.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they're rotating so many guys in, it's never, well, I'm used to playing next to this guy, right? Especially on the defensive front. And they just don't, other than Clark, I don't know that they have somebody that's just kind of not a badass, but, Charles Haley would say whatever, right? And there was no filter.
Right. To this day.
Yeah, especially in the training room, right? But they don't have that personality like they got nice guys.
And let's be real. As much as Charles Haley would take over, whenever that middle linebacker spoke, whether it was like there's guess Ken Norton was with him at one time, he knew what to do. He obeyed because everyone has to be on the same page. He wasn't just going off being impulsive. It was a controlled chaos that they created because they were doing it in unison.
It's like they don't have a Darren Woodson or a Sean Lee or a Dat Wynn out there. Now, Murray has, I think, developed a little bit, but again,
that goes back to what you just said, though.
You got to play.
You got to play
consistently.
Yes.
Week in. Like he was really good against Washington, and then this last game, not so much.
And we assume that
look at this game as just an aberration.
Which one? The Denver?
Well, we're about to find out.
Yeah.
Right? Because we looked at Chicago as an aberration.
Yeah.
And then, okay, they kind of...
Then you went to Carolina.
They went to Carolina, now what happened?
Right? Just saying.
We are who we thought.
Right.
But it's every other week.
Right.
That's the sign of 8-9 or 9-8.
But the weird thing about it is when you get the green dot and you're the guy that's communicating, you talk about that intimate communication between linebacker and your front, you assume that Murray would be that guy because of him communicating the orders to the defense.
He's calling the signals.
But, again, as I look at this defense, that's the one thing that I see an absence of that leader. And if DeRon Bland isn't going to be that guy in absence of, Trevon Diggs, who's on IR.
Well, he was never a leader.
But Malik Hooker or guys
Donovan
like that.
Wilson was on his way to being there a couple of years ago.
Yes.
And, the pressure from last year, he didn't respond to that very well. But at one point, he was a guy that was making plays on the ball, run and pass. That was 2 years ago. And I thought that he would develop into that. And I don't know if he's getting more injuries or whatever, but his development seemed to have halted a little bit for me. You got to be more consistent if you want to speak up on this team.
Hey, guys, well, let's take our first break.
Because we're going to be consistent.
Yes, we're going to take our first break. And when we return, we will talk about these Arizona Cardinals coming up next on Mick Shots.
The National Medal of Honor Museum is now open in Arlington, Texas. just a few blocks from AT&T Stadium. Immersive exhibits and exciting technology allow you to fly a rescue helicopter mission in Vietnam and have conversations with virtual Medal of Honor recipients. Come be inspired by these incredible stories of ordinary Americans who did the extraordinary. Get your tickets at mohmuseum.org.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Keith Davis here, former Cowboys safety.
Keith Davis into the end zone.
You know what separates champions from the rest? Making the right move at the right moment. With blockchain.com, that's never been easier. The Cowboys became America's team by striking bold when it mattered most. Now it's your turn. Invest like your icons with blockchain.com. Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys today to get started and learn more. That's blockchain.com/Cowboys.
Hey, Cowboy fans, if you're thinking about attending a game this season, visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today. Stay at the team hotel, have dinner with a Cowboys legend, and experience the best sports venue in the world, AT&T Stadium. Also, tour the Star, get autographs from your favorite players, and talk X's and O's with me, Mickey Spagnola. The official travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys will take care of all your travel needs. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your package today.
Miller Lite, the legendary light beer. The originator, the inventor. If this beer could talk, it'd tell stories about that one time, that night, that one guy, that one gal. Writing a story 50 years long and 50 million friends wide. Because legendary stories start with a light. Here's to 50 years of Miller Time. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Back to Mick Shots.
Support the troops with official salute to service collection. Shop jerseys, hoodies, tees, and more. Visit a pro shop near you or log on to shop.dallascowboys.com, a Fanatics experience.
So we're back in action here on Mick Shots, and we're all placing our wagers on who's going to be the Thanksgiving halftime performer. No wagers were actually placed. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Let me correct that right there.
Find something to make sure I'm good. I'm in the clear. Take my background check information.
So my man Everson is leaning for Kendrick Lamar. It's like, we have to get.
No, he did last year's.
No, it's the
He's
Super
on the
Bowl.
road now. He just won the Super Bowl.
No, I promise you, it will not be Kendrick Lamar as the Thanksgiving halftime.
Well, it has to be somebody that's not touring, right? Because they've already got a schedule to.
So, I mean, we're all just trying to figure out who it's going to be. But as Chris Beam said, we know who it won't be, but we do know we could probably go with country music as the genre of music that we select for halftime. But guys, let's get into let's talk about these Arizona Cardinals. And before the show started, I was hearing Coach Eberflus talk about Trey McBride, their tight end, their leading receiver for Arizona. Really? Yeah, Trey McBride.
I don't know anything about these guys.
Wow.
At all.
Well, here's why, because he leads the team with 47 catches, tight end.
Yeah.
And their guy is supposed to be Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
This is so weird to me.
He's only got 24 catches.
I don't understand what happened to Marvin Harrison, from the Ohio State Marvin Harrison to what happens once he got to the league. That is a weird transition for me. Just watching him from his skill set. I mean, talk about catch radius, running, big playability. He has brought none of that with him from Columbus.
Has there been any continuity offensive-wise?
Well, they've been without Murray for a couple weeks.
Yes.
Right?
I mean, but this is his second year.
Yeah.
This is second year in the league. First year didn't go well at all for him. But I just, as a playmaker, and look, when you look at Arizona's offense is not very good. Okay, they had Jacoby Brissett.
You just ruined it.
No, I didn't. No,
you
said you didn't know anything about them, so I'm trying to tell you about who they are.
Okay.
So they had Jacoby Brissett as their quarterback, and just bus driver. Think bus driver, right?
No, I like Kobe. I like Kobe.
He's a good player, smart dude, IQ very high. But as far as their rushing yards, Kyler Murray still leads the team in rushing with 173 yards. So 7 games, that's what you got as far as their production. But Trey McBride is a damn good tight end.
But if you're going to talk about anything besides Trey McBride, can he block as well?
Hell yeah.
Because once again, I don't want us coming in thinking about how explosive this team is, and they just go basic on us and start running the ball on us. So what running back are they looking at? Is this their strength of their offense? Has to be the running game?
Yes.
Because at this point, you don't see the continuity of playmakers on that team. Mike's talking about Marvin Harris's problems, the tight end doing well, McBride. But now you've got Kyler's out. How well is Jacoby can't be doing that well.
Well, the biggest question is, will Kyler be back for this game?
Is that scheduled for that?
I thought he was supposed to. Well, we won't see an injury report till today.
Okay.
So on McBride, I just saw this. In Week 10 of 2023 versus Atlanta, McBride caught 8 passes for 131 yards for his first one.
Against who?
Atlanta.
I saw that game.
It was his first 100-yard outing. Now, how sobering is this? The performance came 34 years to the day since the last 100-yard outing by a tight end, Rob Awol.
Wow.
And he did it against the Cowboys in 1989. What are you doing? You didn't cover the darn tight end?
Right. I remember
calling him out.
And then you know who else? That was when Awol was better than Jay Novacek.
Well, they weren't even using Novacek.
They weren't using Novacek at all.
And you remember the Cowboys then in Plan B got Novacek, and they ended up with Awol, remember, in 90, and he got hurt.
I recall playing against those Phoenix Cardinals, I think. And Jay I was with the Giants, and he got a kickoff return, and he hurdled one of our safeties. I mean, just hurdled him.
Really?
And then that's when I was like, man, who is that white dude, man? That big old tight end. What's going on? They said, yeah, man, he was a hurdler. And they said he ran track. They said,
he did.
You could just see it.
I think he was the decathlon. Well, he was a former, you're talking about Novacek, right?
Novacek, yes, I am.
He was a former quarterback.
They wore us out with those 2 tight ends.
But how about this? So they got this list here of tight ends in the Cardinals' history with touchdown catches. Number 1, Jackie Smith.
Of course.
22. Number 2, Trey McBride with 5.
What?
Wow.
Come on, man.
Career.
You got to be lying.
Career. It says, I read it.
Oh,
I read it twice.
Which city?
Whoa.
Weren't they in St. Louis at one time?
Well, no, they were in Chicago to start.
They were in Chicago.
Went to St. Louis.
Maybe they started from.
So Jackie Smith, 1963 through 77.
They had a guy. They had Cunningham, if I'm not mistaken, but they were all just big blockers.
So Novacek had 2, Awol had 2, and Taz Anderson had 1 in 1961 through 64. So tight ends weren't usually the Cardinals' calling card.
Could you imagine that we played against the Cardinals all that time and that stat never came up?
But
that stat, that their tight ends don't catch touchdowns. Because I'm pretty sure we had our safety wasting his damn time.
For a guy that only had two touchdowns.
Cunningham, number 89, was nothing but a big offensive tackle.
Well, in present day, we have Trey McBride, who is all they have basically in the receiving room, and we've seen that our safeties have struggled with tight ends. How many tight ends have we seen that have come through that have had success against the Cowboys? And I'm just asking your trust level going into this game with your safeties and linebackers, maybe nullifying the effect and productivity from Trey McBride.
I think what you look for are these complications. If someone comes at us and just says, we're going to come at you simple and one-on-one, I think the Cowboys have a better chance because they won't be confused by any trickery, any change in the offensive line scheme, or any of that. No diagrammed routes that could, get someone wide open. They think he can beat you one-on-one.
Well,
They're going to try and beat you with the simplicity, and I think that gives us a better chance to go up against them.
I think if all things were equal, you would use Marquise Bell on the tight end. But where they're at the safety position, I don't know that you can designate him at the line of scrimmage, right?
How about putting 2 people on him?
Well, you can put a linebacker over there.
2 people on
right?
it. We got to put 2 people on.
Now James probably can run with him. Or Leofold.
Running with him and covering
him too. Well, but if you can't run with him, then you can't cover him.
If you can't track a ball, then you can run with him all you want.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the receiving core. I mean, Zay Jones. I don't know if they picked him up last year or if that was this year. But he only has like 17 catches, and.
Which is odd for a guy that had production, I believe, in Jacksonville.
Right.
We had talked about, I think, when he was a free agent acquiring him.
Don't you think they paid for him?
They did. They had to have. But I guess that's what I'm saying. When it comes down to Marvin Harrison, again, we're not even talking about his production, and he should be a player that everyone should be saying player to watch in a game like that, irregardless of who was playing, Jacoby Brissett or Kyler Murray. But it's not the case.
Here's what you will see with an offense that's a bit limited in personnel and I guess maybe talent as well. You're going to see, and we're going to see it every week, the quick passing game, especially if you're trying to go to McBride. You're going to get the ball to him soon. We're not going to give the Cowboys a chance with the blitz. We're going to try and catch them while they're not looking, dropping into their zone areas. Simple things that have been working against us, but for the most part hadn't been working against us at home. And so
that is the difference.
Here we go.
Do you feel better? Do you feel better that this is a home game?
Only because it's a home game. That's the only reason I feel better. I think we'll have a lot more confidence. We just seem to have a lot more complimentary football when we play at home. And I should have mentioned it last week, not like it would make a difference because they're listening, but we cannot put ourselves in the hole as far as penalties. We don't have that luxury. We're talking about going for it on 4th and 5, but with these damn penalties, we end up with 4th and 15.
Exactly.
And so we take a bullet out of our gun, and we need all the bullets we can get.
On paper, this looks like you have a struggling offense in Arizona versus a struggling defense. And they have a running back, and we also have to worry about that with their running game in Bam Knight. I believe in the Green Bay game, only 57 yards on the ground, so not very effective, and it was a running back by committee approach. Brissett even had some rushing yards also, so not very effective.
It's not like we are going up against a Carolina team that had a history of running the ball the way they did with Rico.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
they lose Connor.
Very surprised.
They lose Connor,
of course,
their lead guy, and then Murray's their leading rusher.
But see, I worry about their offensive line. It's not necessarily the running backs. It's the offensive line that you have to be. I mean, we got pushed around by Carolina's backups. Remember, weren't those?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so.
And everybody would say, and they said this after this past game, Javonte Williams didn't have a good game. No. The offensive line didn't have a good game.
Right.
The running back can only go where they let him. Yeah.
But the weird thing about Arizona, if you look at the 5 losses that they have, they've been in some close games through these 7 games, first 7 games.
Well, they've lost 5 straight.
Yes.
By 1, by 3, by 1, by 4, and by 4.
Uh-oh.
You didn't want to hear that.
They have been in some close games, and at halftime of the Packers game, they were leading 13-6. So I mean, they had the Packers, Mickey's Packers, in a dogfight last week in Arizona. So I mean, look, as much as we say about us struggling and their struggles, when you look at the losses that they have, it isn't like they've been blown out in games.
Like we have in some games. Right.
Well, they've only lost 1 more game than the Cowboys.
Damn.
They just lost them 5 straight.
Yeah.
They didn't get into the win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1, tie 1, win 1, lose 1.
We're gonna have to attack them, and I wouldn't say inexperienced, but someone who's just inexperienced with this team. We're gonna have to attack Jacoby in more ways than one.
Jacoby, at this point, don't you feel like he's a little bit of he's a veteran. He's a guy that's been around for a long time now.
He's a Tyrod Taylor. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those guys. Every time you look up, he's backing somebody up. But that's because of consistency.
Yeah.
And not consistently great or consistently bad, but just a true manager of an offense until you guys get your man back.
Yeah.
You know, when he comes back, hopefully he'll be like Cooper Rush to where he can, just manage it enough to where we don't fall too far in the rankings.
Guys, let me manage this second break. I'm going to take it here and return as Bill Jones walks into the room. Coming up next here on Mick Shots.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Keith Davis here, former Cowboys safety.
Keith Davis into the end zone.
You know what separates champions from the rest? Making the right move at the right moment. With blockchain.com, that's never been easier. The Cowboys became America's team by striking bold when it mattered most. Now it's your turn. Invest like your icons with blockchain.com. Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys today to get started and learn more. That's blockchain.com/Cowboys.
Miller Lite, the legendary light beer. The originator, the inventor. If this beer could talk, it'd tell stories about that one time, that night, that one guy, that one gal. Writing a story 50 years long and 50 million friends wide. Because legendary stories start with a light. Here's to 50 years of Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
The National Medal of Honor Museum is now open in Arlington, Texas, just a few blocks from AT&T Stadium. Immersive exhibits and exciting technology allow you to fly a rescue helicopter mission in Vietnam and have conversations with virtual Medal of Honor recipients. Come be inspired by these incredible stories of ordinary Americans who did the extraordinary. Get your tickets at mohmuseum.org.
Back to Mick Shots.
Cowboys Nation, Dallas Cowboys United, presented by Globe Life, is exclusively in the Dallas Cowboys app. Join the official fan club today to receive access to Cowboys Drops, where you can win game tickets, autographed items, exclusive experiences, and more. Download the app now to join.
All right, here we are. Welcome to Mick Shots.
Now you're here.
No, you welcome
yourself.
You're here. Yeah, now the show can start.
I can't wait to go back and listen to the first couple of segments of this show.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
Do it every week just to make sure.
Oh, we covered all the bases now.
That's right. I'm sure. Well, let me go look at the rundown. I can look exactly and see exactly what's been covered. Mickey, what came out on Mickey's notebook here?
First, we talked about what little Matt Eberflus had to say. And then we talked about
able to listen in
I
on?
listened for about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Then we talked about how they're having Schottenheimer interact with the defense this week. We talked safeties.
What that should be done more. You have offensive coaches coming to let them understand exactly what we're looking at, depending on what kind of offense you're running or what kind of defense might be more susceptible to being successful against an offense. So he could give his own opinion.
I hope Clayton Adams is talking to him this week.
Yeah.
Clayton Adams' history with the Arizona Cardinals. Being familiar with the Cardinals personnel on defense.
We talked Diggs, we talked leadership, and we talked Arizona. That's where we left off.
That's it. The whole show has been.
Well, how about this? Not only are the Cardinals coming, they're bringing a plane full of fans with them.
What?
They've started a new deal. They've got an airplane, Arizona Cardinals football, and they're starting Cardinals Premier Travel. And this is the inaugural trip taking place for the Cardinals game here to watch Monday Night Football, where they're going to have a world-class travel experience to give fans the opportunity to see the team play on the road And they're on the plane. They're going to have access to Patrick Peterson, Tyrann Mathieu, Adrian Wilson, and Marcus Golden and Sam Acho.
Nice. Not bad.
So they're bringing their fans with them.
How many? Did they say how many?
See if it says how many fans they're going to be able to bring.
How about that? You take a plane full of fans with you wherever you go.
And
it's like their state championship game. That's what the high school
and
teams
it's in the release, right? They got a picture of the plane. Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah,
exactly. The charter buses are coming, baby. So, charter plane.
They've lost 5 straight games by a total of 13 points.
That was where we left
that
off.
makes me nervous. That makes me nervous.
The 1-point losses, the 4-point loss, and 3-point loss.
And the last 2 teams they've played, Indianapolis and Green Bay, happen to have the 2 best records in the league.
Yeah.
So and that's one thing that Brian Schottenheimer said off the top. And basically, I asked him what his message to his team was, and he said, "Don't take these guys lightly." I mean, based on all of that.
Yeah.
Well,
you don't take any team lightly.
One of the other losses was to Seattle too, but by 3 points.
One of the losses by 1 point to Tennessee too.
Yeah, well,
they had in the hand,
right?
Yep.
And basically all of those they had a lead late and blew the lead.
Yeah, had a lead at half versus Green Bay. Mm-hmm. Which, like I said, this is a resilient bunch, man. We cannot take them lightly. But offensively, as I've just pointed out, man, they have had their struggles. Jacoby Brissett in the last couple of games, but also even before that,
they've lost their run game. They've lost all their running backs.
Yeah.
They're on like their
it's not the
guys
lineman.
off the
It's
street.
not the lineman. It's the running
not
back.
just Connor. Who else did they lose?
They've lost Trey Benson.
Benson.
Lost Connor. They won their first 2 games, and Connor was healthy. And then they lost. They lost him on September 19th.
For good.
Out for the year. Trey Benson, who's the other running back. Amari DiMercato.
Yes. I forgot this guy, man.
Who's the guy that fumbled on the goal line, and that's why they lost the Tennessee game.
Right.
Okay, well, he's out.
He's a good player, though.
Yep. And he missed the Green Bay game, and so he had an ankle, and they haven't had an injury report yet. They won't until today since it's a Monday night game.
Nah, he's solid now.
Yeah,
he's solid.
yeah. And so their leading rusher last week, it was Zonovan Bam Knight, who wasn't even on their roster.
Who, by the way, is listed as the starter on their depth chart, followed by Amari DiMercato.
This all sounds like a setup.
Yeah.
This all sounds like a setup. Here we go.
That's what I hate, man. When your defense is no good, it feels like every week is a setup. Every team.
Crazy.
Well,
you just said they lost 5 straight, Everson.
Right.
5 straight.
Look how we lost. They lost. Look how they lost. Total of what? Not even 18 points, was it? I mean, come on.
Yep.
So Arizona's sitting there, and they're talking about, well, now don't take the Cowboys lightly because Denver beat them up. You saw what they did to Washington the week before.
And stayed at home.
And it's at home.
Yeah.
A different team. Completely different team at home, and you know that.
But the Cowboys, they're 3-0 on Monday night here on the road against the Cowboys.
Come on, man.
And we're undefeated in the Dome. Is that how it goes?
Who, the Cowboys?
Yeah.
This year. 2-0-1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Had the tie
2-0-1
against the second
And as
best.
Bill pointed out yesterday, they're in a dome the rest of the way.
So if they win 6 more, they'll have the same.
The Giants and Washington.
With 7 more wins at home, they'll have the same record Kyler Murray has at AT&T Stadium.
Oh, gosh. So that'll make you put your thumbs away right there.
And they're expecting him to play, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Are they?
Yes, they're expecting him to play.
I think we can break him up a little bit. Yeah. I don't think he's quite ready.
Well, he's due. He's due to lose, right?
That's right.
That's what Schottenheimer said.
Yeah.
He pointed it out. He goes, yeah, then due to lose. Are you listening there, Kyler?
Now, he has been exceptional at AT&T Stadium his entire career. So, I mean,
even against Keller Central.
Against anybody. Doesn't matter.
In there, literally, in the Arizona Cardinals media guide, they've got a full page devoted to Kyler Murray. Okay, this is where the Cowboys stand in the eyes of the Cardinals and why they've chartered a plane to bring fans here. It's Kyler Murray's record at AT&T Stadium that takes up a full page in their media guide.
There's the release
and in their,
right here.
Okay.
They documented every game.
And it details his high school games, the by-district win over Keller Central in 2012.
Well, let me give you an example here. Allen High School, December 22nd, 2012, against Lamar, 35-21 state title game.
No, that was the Lamar Consolidated.
Okay.
Right.
Houston,
okay.
Lamar.
Okay, I'm thinking all this.
143 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, a 55-yard run, a 68-yard run, 49 passing yards, and 1 touchdown. There you go. And they documented every game, even the one that he didn't start.
For Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that
we do.
Too.
We do. I'm with it, man.
Yeah,
we do. We do. Cancel
and he
Christmas.
rushed for 27 yards.
They had like 3 quarterbacks. They had a little.
Well, he went to A&M on the heels of Johnny Manziel being there, and Kyle Allen was there too, and then both of them transferred out.
They sure did.
And of course, Murray went and won a Heisman Trophy and became the number 1 pick after being a top 10 pick in the baseball draft.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys been disappointed with the way that his pro career has gone so far?
Yes.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
And with all the promise that came from him out of obviously out of high school, but college as well, coming off the Heisman. Mm-hmm. It's been kind of weird to see, the whole PlayStation, whatever they call it.
I don't think he's been blessed with consistent leadership and support.
He had us that one season where they were the first half. In fact, that was sort of Kingsbury's time there, and it actually.
That's why he was there, right?
Paralleled, and it paralleled what Kingsbury did as a head coach at Texas Tech. The first half of the year they'd always start strong, and Cardinals did the same thing, and then the second half of the season things would crater.
Well, Bill, I will tell you this. We did not talk about the offense one time today. So tomorrow's rundown will be offense heavy.
Okay.
Just want you to know.
I love that. We need to. We need to take our focus off the defense.
And that's our last show before the game, right?
That's right.
Yes.
Monday night.
So you have to make our predictions and picks to click, all of that. It's a regular Friday around here.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I need to clear up from yesterday. And Everson, on this show, he always brings up something that I can't. I'll say something, and then Everson will say, well, what about San Francisco?
Right.
Okay, yesterday it was about San Francisco and their injuries, and I'm lamenting they're playing without Nick Bosa, they're playing without
Fred Warner.
Fred Warner.
Yeah.
And and then Everson said, "Well, what's the record?" 5-3.
Yeah, 5-3.
So I did some research.
Uh-huh.
They started the season 3-0.
Okay.
And Bosa was healthy. Bosa got hurt at the third game of the season. Mm-hmm. And so what would that make them? They're 2-3 since then.
So when did Warner get hurt?
And then Warner got hurt. They're 1-2 since Warner got hurt.
Yeah. Okay.
And so what happened? They whatever game it was, the only game that they've won since Warner got hurt was against Atlanta, 20-10. Yeah. A Falcons team that the following week goes to Miami and gets run out of the place. So anyway, now my other point on it, and this is about the Cowboys defense, just because you lose those players, and this is your point, doesn't mean you can't function as a team.
Right.
But I think what's going to happen with San Francisco and what sort of has happened with them losing Bosa and still being able to win some games, is time on task, which is what the Cowboys have some extra time this week with a Monday night game. With these secondary guys, you can coach them up, and maybe you don't have the communication issues going forward. And then you got a bye week after that. Though on the Ravens, that was a big thing with the Ravens because that was a parallel comparison with the secondary where Houston lit them up for 44 points. Well, then they got their guys back. They had a bye week in there too. And now Lamar's back.
Back.
Anyway,
I see what you're saying.
So the Raiders better watch out.
And watch out for Derek. And they're playing tonight, aren't they? Baltimore and Miami. Is that tonight?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's correct.
watch out for Derrick Henry. He's got his running quarterback back.
All right.
Are they playing in Miami or in Baltimore?
That will require me to call
That's all right.
this app right
Either way,
here.
I just wondered if it was a homecoming for Lamar.
That's right.
Pompano will be in the house.
Uh-huh.
That's a different kind of speed right there, Pompano.
They're at
speed.
Miami.
Oh, yeah.
At Miami.
Oh, yeah, homecoming.
Oh.
Okay, we are
Humidity
way out of
will-
time.
Humidity will
Way out of
defeat
time.
them.
Let's
So
go get some
here we
soup.
go. Go to the mess hall, Everson, and we'll shout at you again tomorrow at high noon.
Go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?